It's the eagerly awaited M23 derby, Brighton against Crystal Palace at the Amex 2 p.m. on Sunday in the Premier League. Crystal Palace sit narrowly above the drop zone, 4 points clear of Ipswich, so they'll be looking for a positive result in this game. And I've got a few high value angles to cover. So far this season, the Brighton angles that I've taken have been in regards to sort of opposition defensive midfielders committing fouls. The way Brighton play, they're very fluid in their approach under Hertzler. You've got their attacking personnel like João Pedro, Rutter, and Welbeck, who often drop back into midfield. And all three are great for drawing fouls. If we look into their data, João Pedro is averaging 2.13 fouls drawn per 90, Rutter 2.18 fouls drawn per 90, and Welbeck 1.09, but he's drawn a foul in each of his last 10 starts. So some fantastic players to target for drawing fouls. And on a similar note, it's the Palace midfielders who are the most prolific duellers. Will Hughes, in particular, has been the main contributor to the fouls department for Crystal Palace so far. He's averaging 2.3 fouls per 90. I've actually had a bit of a deeper look into his data, and I've backed him for fouls in this game. I've covered him in my weekly column that's been posted over on Twitter and Telegram. So if you are interested in those bets, go over and check those out. I won't be covering it again in this video because I've got a few more high value angles to cover. The first of which being Jorginho Rutter to register 3 or more foul involvements, which is priced at 1.8 with Sky. Since moving from Leeds, Rutter is averaging 4.26 foul involvements per 90 for Brighton, split 2.08 fouls per 90 and 2.18 fouls drawn per 90, so pretty even. And 4.26 is obviously well above this line, which is a good sign initially. However, when filtering 2 games at the Amex, that rises to 5.17 foul involvements per 90, so a significant and notable increase, with this bet landing in 6 out of 6. Just solely based off the data, it would look like, or it appears to be, that Rutter's sort of floor for foul involvements is 3. And with that being priced at 1.8, I think this certainly is a lot of potential. So you can actually get 4 plus foul involvements at 2 to 1, 5 plus at 5 to 1, and 6 or more foul involvements at 10 to 1. As I mentioned, I think he has got a good matchup here. Against the Palace midfield, you'll likely be up against Jefferson Lerma and Will Hughes. As I mentioned, Will Hughes have already taken 4 fouls, and those two should occupy a very similar zone of the field. We've seen Rutter sort of play on the right, but he does have the tendency to drift into midfield and just be very physical with whoever is marking him. If he does start on the right, he'll be up against Mark Guehi and Tyrick Mitchell. So again, a good matchup for him to draw fouls and also make fouls. And just in front of him will be Eberechi Eze. So I just think he's got good matchups all over the field, whether it's for drawing fouls or committing fouls. And therefore, I do really like the ladder potential here. I think Sky are a bit overpriced on his fouls drawn market. Paddy Power are a lot shorter than Sky as a sort of testament to the value on offer there. But I think just to be safe, it makes sense to sort of take the foul involvements market, given how similar his data is for both fouls committed and fouls drawn. Shifting over to the shots market now, and it's actually Jean-Philippe Mateta who's caught my eye for Crystal Palace in this one, as he has a very, very low line. He's actually priced at 1.8 to register a shot on target, and he's priced at 1.72 to register 2 or more shots. And just on the surface, for a starting striker who's been in relatively good form, those 2 lines do look kind of low on the. Looking into his data for the season, Jean-Philippe Mateta is averaging 2.24 shots per 90, which is nothing to really write home about. But he did have quite an inconsistent start to the campaign. Sort of poor output led to a limited sort of minutes role under Oliver Glasner. But since that Spurs game where he scored, he's played the full 90 in each of the last 8 games straight in all competitions. So if he is to sort of get the full 90 again here, I think this line looks really, really good. Given that in those 8 games recently, he's landed 2 or more shots in 6 out of 8. The one miss, or the misses being 1 shot against City, 1 shot against Fulham, 1 shot against Spurs. He's landed this line in 4 out of 4 away games, notably. and he's also hit a shot on target in 5 out of 8 games. So, as I say, if he is to play the 90, he'll likely be on penalties, or he'll share them with Eze at least, and therefore I think this line does look pretty low. Thinking about how Mateta plays under Oliver Glasner in this system, he is obviously the focal point of the attack. A lot of the chances that he does get, although he doesn't have too many shots, they tend to be sort of higher XG chances, and therefore if he is to have at least 2 shots, I'd sort of fancy him to have or get one of those at least on target. So if you were to go ahead and back Mateta to have over 1.5 shots and 1 shot on target, that would come out at 2.2 with Bet365, which I think is a pretty decent price. As you can see from his shot map, a lot of his chances are coming from very close to the goal, in and around the box. Exclude that one that's sort of from the halfway line, but they do tend to be higher XG chances, and therefore, again, if he is to have at least 2 shots, fancy him to get one of those on target. Pairing those two comes out at 2.2 with Bet365. So again, anything odds against looks a pretty nice price. I think Bet365 are the top price for Mateta here. So that will be my second angle for this one. I'm really liking some of the value on offer in this early kickoff on Sunday. Just to recap, so far I've backed Hughes fouls, I've backed Rutter foul involvements, and Mateta shots. I will have a few more sort of plays being posted. They'll all be covered on Telegram, so make sure you're in that group. The link will be in my bio to join. But that'll be all for this game in this video. So thank you for your support, and best of luck for any bets you go with.